Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depends which time zone you're in, but this is Joe from the Gooner Podcast talking to you live. Well, it won't be when you're watching this, but it's live as I'm speaking. For me, it's morning, I have to say, and I wasn't alarmed by this headline this morning, but it was yesterday morning when I saw this headline in the Metro, and it says, well, for those of you that can't read and just listening, and I don't expect there are many of you, but anyway, Lucas Aid could help Gunners to keep Van Persie. Well, my first take on that headline, shock, horror, you've just seen me. My first take on that headline was, what are they talking about? They're talking about Lukas Fabianski. Is Lukas Fabianski going to keep Robin Van Persie at the club? Well, as we know, Robin Van Persie is out of contract at the end of next season, and it obviously is a big concern of all Arsenal fans that we managed to keep Van Persie at the club. And I really couldn't see any way that Lukas Fabianski was going to do that. And in fact, quite the opposite. I thought if Lukas Fabianski comes to the rescue, let's put it like this: I would rather perish than have him come to my rescue. That's how I feel. Sorry about that, Lucas. But the other Lucas, the Lucas they're actually talking about is Lukas Podolski, and Lukas Podolski obviously would be a great signing. I've been saying this for years, and if we can actually get this guy, then let's get him in. Let's get him in as soon as possible. Of course, our boss Arsene Wenger has been coy as always when it comes to that transfer activity or lack of. 10.9 million. I'm just looking at my phone here to get all the details because I'm not very good with maths sometimes, particularly when it comes to remembering figures. 10.9 million is supposedly the fee that we've offered Cologne for Lukas Podolski, and which seems cheap at the price to me if we can actually bring him on board for that kind of money. There's another player that we're being linked with, and he's another player from the Eastern Bloc. Well, obviously Podolski is not strictly from the Eastern Bloc, but he's got a bit of a Polish name. Andrei Yarmolenko is the other guy we're being linked with, and he's 22 years of age. He got 7 goals in his first season, 11 in his second. There's a lot of interest in this guy coming from Shakhtar Donetsk and Napoli. They're interested in him, and according to the story that's being run in the Metro, if he doesn't join us, he will be he'll be going to one of those other 2 clubs. And if he does indeed join us, it looks like we could be saying goodbye to Andrei Yarmolenko. In effect, we already have, but nonetheless, that's the story. And Theo Walcott possibly could leave because this guy can play on the wing. I have to confess, I don't really know a lot about this Ukrainian international striker from Dynamo Kiev, or Dynamo Kiev, if you prefer to pronounce it that way. I don't know a lot about him, but Arsene Wenger hasn't commented on that particular story at all. But one thing he has said is that he admits that Podolski is a good player, and he didn't say whether or not an agreement has been made. He said this: at the moment we have not signed anybody. There is still no agreement. Podolski is a good player. I wouldn't deny that. So that's my best Arsene Wenger voice for this morning. Other news at the moment in the UK is Tomas Rosicky. Looks like he's going to sign a new deal. That's a little bit worrying, I think, because Rosicky's had a few good games, as I mentioned in the last vodcast. He's had a few good games, but is he really worth keeping at the club on a 2-year deal? That's what he's expected to sign very soon. Within the next 48 hours, apparently, Arsene Wenger will be rewarding the 31-year-old for what has been some impressive form this season. He cost us around about 10 million from Borussia Dortmund, so a similar fee is what we're going to be parting company with to bring in Podolski. And obviously he's had a lot of injury problems, including hamstring problem, and these injuries have really affected his game in a negative sense. And his agent is Pavel Paska, and his agent said, "We have met with Arsene Wenger. The new contract terms are negotiated, but we are not revealing any more information." Apparently, he's going to be getting in excess of £80,000 a week. That's what he currently earns, according to this story. Usually, we only pay players over the age of 30. We only normally we only normally do contracts for 1 year. So we're kind of breaking our own rules. It's all very well being flexible, but I didn't know that I wanted Arsene Wenger to be that kind of flexible with Tomas Rosicky. I thought a 1 year deal, fair enough. 2 years, to me, it's a little bit excessive. And of course, the other big story in the UK at the moment is this one. I don't know if you can see it. Well, it's not strictly this story, but you can see a nice picture of Robin van Persie, and I really appreciate the fact that that other writers, in this case James Lawton of the Evening Standard, coming out and saying what a fine football player Robin van Persie is, will tell us something we don't know. But he goes on to say that Robin van Persie is honourable. We hope he is, because he'd be out of contract in the not too distant future. Obviously, that would be 2013. So, what with Manchester City making overtures and expressing an interest in the player, that is rather worrying, to say the least, from an Arsenal point of view. So he could possibly move on this summer. We hope not. While I'm talking to you, I'm trying to access the story where Mancini actually, Roberto Mancini, the Manchester City boss, actually commented that he was interested in Van Persie and would love to get him to the club. Let's hope that we can do something to prevent that. But at the moment, obviously, Robin van Persie is saying very little. He was asked, this was Mancini, whether he was interested in Van Persie. So kind of a bit of muck stirring by journalists. He said, "I think Van Persie at this moment is one of the best strikers in Europe, with Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo and Sergio Aguero, and Mario Balotelli." Has to throw one of his own players in there. He said, "He is a fantastic striker, but I think he will sign a new contract at Arsenal, because if Arsenal also lose Van Persie, then we'll have a big problem." But apparently, Manchester City are going to give Van Persie a 4-year deal and give him £220,000 a week, and they would offer us a transfer fee of around £25 million. Doesn't seem a lot for Van Persie the way he's playing lately. Mancini also said, "I think if there is a good player who wants to leave the club, then we are interested. But if this player wants to stay, we don't have any problem." So he's not exactly come out and said he's chasing Van Persie, but he certainly admits he's interested. That's the story being run in the UK at the moment. Obviously, I'm going to keep you updated on all goings on regarding Arsenal Football Club, and I hope you'll visit this podcast many more times. If you want to email me, you can email me at the following address, fabarsenalfc@gmail.com. That's all for now. We'll talk again soon, no doubt. Take care. Bye.